Hello, everybody. This is Mike Pierre, and today we're going to go over another cool Leet code problem. Okay, this one's problem number 3. It's called longest substring without repeating characters. Okay, so given a string, okay, so this will be the input of the string. Find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. Okay, so we know that within this string we're going to have to find a length of something. Okay. But that's a string. So we got to use a character. Alright, and then we're going to create we're going to initialize this as a char array, obviously, because that's what I wrote. So let's name this variable chars. Okay. So, example. But before that, let me read it again. So, given a string, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. Okay, so example is input. Let's see this input. Output. Explanation. The answer is ABC. The output is 3 with the length of 3. The answer is ABC with the length of 3. Okay. So it's asking for the longest substring. So over here, the longest substring seems to be B, right? Okay. And then here's example 2. I'm comparing. So BBB, output 1, answers B with the length of 1. Okay. So there's 3 characters. ABC is the answer without repeating the characters. Okay, so it's making more sense, meaning that it seems like we're finding the longest substring without repeating the characters. Okay, so over here, WKE, the answer is 3. Okay, so that means that I guess it's clear enough for you to understand this part where if you have a substring, you have characters, right? It's pretty much checking for if there was duplicate, and then we know that the output is going to be 3 because there's 3 characters that we can actually join together. So this is how the approach we would solve this issue. Okay, so I think that we would be fine to use this assigned variables because we want to get the array character. Okay. Okay, I think a best case scenario too as well. We should use a hash map. Gonna initialize character, the type character. Okay, and it's gonna be a integer. Then we're gonna name this map gets new hash map. Okay, and then character integer. I think my only problem with this IDE from Leet code is that I probably would want to bring the solution into an IDE that actually helps me assist on my writing to speed it, not just to speed up the process, but just to make sure I got my sentence structures right with this. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, I would say, a brute force tech, N1. Let's see. I know that in the description they should give, or I think it was a solutions, right? Yeah, brute force attack would work well in here. They give details, so I'm not going to read over the details because this problem is already solved. And it gives the formula in order to get to that. Okay, so I'm looking at the space complexity. That's what was interesting me. So ON cube, I would say that I would approach this problem in ON cube. Um, let's see what's going on here. Sliding window. Never heard of that algorithm, but I'm gonna definitely look into it. Time complexity is slow, not even average, just very slow. Okay, so anyway, I was looking at these solutions. Let me go back to this problem again. All right, so given a string, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. Created a hash map. Okay, and we assign a variable when we're creating our char array. Okay, so for int I get 0, yes. Okay, and then we have I is less than chars dot length. I hope I spelled this right because sometimes you write faster than you think. I plus plus. So we're iterating once already. Now over here, what do I want to do? I actually want to store, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna assign a variable that's gonna store last index. Yes. Get. We're gonna be using get within our map, hash map, and then we're actually getting the last index. This is what it is. So this is why we were assigning a variable. However, just notice that I spelled integer wrong. Okay. I think that the problem as well with Leet code is that when you run a solution, they're definitely going to want to answer. So I think the only issue with this too is that we won't not be able to get a solution, but I'm going to try that just because I'm curious. But back to the problem. We do want to check for duplicates. So what we're going to do is that we're going to create a variable called int last dup index. Okay, get 0, and then we're going to create a conditional statement if last index is not equal to null. And last duplicate index is less than last index, then we're going to do something in here. But before I can do that, what I want to do is that I want to create a max size. Alright, max size. Oh, and I really wanted to create a variable int max size. Initialize it here, it'll be much easier. Max size. And we're gonna call the math function object, sorry, what we're going to call the max. I'm going to get max size I minus last duplicate index. Okay. And then from here we're going to call map.put and chars. Because we are storing the character here and then the integer and its second argument of put. And then within here we want to actually, this is where I got a little confused because of me initializing the variables, so I put last duplicate gets the last indexed. That was a conditional statement because we want to make sure that the last index is not known as less than our last index, the duplicate index. Okay. I think there was one more thing. I did talk about system. All right. So, I want to run this, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I want to actually return the max size because the output should be 3. Okay, let's try this. Run code. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so it was a typo. It was chars. Okay. Now let's run it. I ran it. And let's see what happens. Okay. Messed up again. The length, I got the syntax confused with probably JavaScript. So it's that length without opening and closing curly brace. And that's it for this problem. Once again, within Leet code, this problem, for example, had a solution. I would go through it a couple of times. That's what I'm going to do as well. Also, they have a great discussion and submission of what you have done. So thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for our next one. Take care.